I was discriminated against my entire life because of my golden child sister. She tried walking down the aisle at my wedding, and I finally got revenge. Growing up, my sister got everything: the front seat in the car, the bigger bedroom with the window view, and mom's sapphire wedding ring when she turned 16. I got hand-me-downs from cousins I'd never met and lectures about being grateful for what I had. When I got into Yale with a partial academic scholarship, they threw my sister a party. Not for me, but for her, to celebrate her C+ in biology because she tried really hard that semester. They took her to Disney World that same week. I stayed home and worked my summer job at Target. The money thing was the worst. When I turned 18, they sat me down and explained I'd be paying $800 monthly rent if I wanted to keep living at home while saving for college expenses. I paid it every month for 2 years. My sister dropped out of community college at 19 and lived rent-free in that house for 6 years. When I asked why she didn't have to pay, Dad said, "She's figuring things out." I moved out at 20. I put myself through grad school and met my fiancé at a hospital fundraiser where I was working the coat check for extra money. He was a pediatric surgeon. He saw me, not my family's mess. When we got engaged, I didn't tell my parents for 3 months. When I finally did, Mom's first question was, "What about your sister? She's been dating someone for 4 months now. Don't you think this will make her feel bad?" I planned my wedding for 14 months, saving $18,000 by working double shifts as a school counselor. I picked every detail: the ivory dress from a boutique in Boston, the vintage pearl earrings, the garden venue with the string lights. Everything was perfect. Everything was mine. I sent my parents an invitation out of basic courtesy. I didn't expect them to help, and they didn't offer. My sister RSVP'd, yes, with a +1, even though she'd just broken up with her boyfriend. The morning of the wedding, my cousin texted me, "Your sister just posted an Instagram story in a white dress. Says she's so excited for today." I thought maybe it was cream-colored. People wear cream to weddings. It wasn't cream. The ceremony started. I was halfway down the aisle, holding my dad's arm because that's what you're supposed to do, when I heard gasping behind me. People were turning in their seats, whispering. My sister was walking down the aisle behind me in a pure white gown she'd clearly ordered from some sketchy website. Sequins, train, veil, the whole thing. She was waving at guests like she was the bride, blowing kisses. My fiancé's face went frozen. My bridesmaids looked horrified, but my mother was smiling. Actually smiling, like this was completely normal. I stopped walking and turned around. My sister kept coming until she was standing right next to me at the altar. She grabbed my other arm and whispered, "We can share the moment, right, sisters?" That's when I pulled out my phone. I'd connected it to the venue speaker system that morning as a backup for our music. I pressed play. Her voice filled the garden, crystal clear. "Mom's giving me $25,000 for my wedding fund when I finally get engaged. She already set up the account. Don't tell her she's too stupid to notice the credit card charges." I've been using Mom's Amex for years. It was from Thanksgiving. She had set her phone in the kitchen when she thought I'd left. I had walked back in to grab my keys and heard everything, recording the whole conversation on my phone that was sitting on the counter. The recording kept playing. My sister was talking about how she convinced our parents to pay her car insurance by saying I probably made too much money to need help. She explained how she told them I was too proud to accept money, so they should just give it all to her, laughing about it. The garden went completely silent. 200 people were staring. Mom's face drained of all color. Dad looked at my sister like he'd never seen her before. She tried to run but tripped over that cheap dress and fell into the rose bushes. I handed my bouquet to my cousin, walked to where my parents were sitting in the front row, and said, "Keep the $25,000. Keep all of it. Consider it payment for 28 years of raising yourselves a golden child." Then I walked back to my fiancé, who was grinning, and said, "Want to get married?" We did. It was the best day of my life. My sister left before the cake. My parents sat through the ceremony but left right after without saying goodbye. 3 days into our honeymoon in Greece, I got a text from my dad. "We need to talk about what you did." I blocked the number.